Hi. So I'm back from vacation, but you probably wouldn't know that because I uploaded videos the entire time that I was gone. Strange thing, it's like I built up all of this content and I got to the point that I was like months out, and then there's things that are coming out that are like new and relevant. I want to post on them, but I have all of this other content that isn't ready to go out yet because I haven't edited it. I haven't finished recording the videos. I haven't gotten it all set up to the point that I'm ready to release it. So then I started getting caught up, and I went from releasing videos every day to releasing videos like 3 a week, 4 a week, something like that. So for the last couple weeks, I've been doing Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, Monday, Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. I'm doing like a new tool Tuesday, and the Saturday and Sunday videos seem to get a lot of play, especially if I talk about them on Facebook a little bit too. That seems to help. But now I'm to the point where I've got this big backlog again, and I'm going to have to go back to releasing videos every day, and it's just like this fight to be creating content. There's always stuff going on, but also have the content be good. And then I was just editing a bunch of videos while I was on vacation because I just can't not be doing something. And I had a couple of them that like now I have to redo the audio. I have to redo the recordings because the audio is just messed up, completely messed up. Playing with the new camera, trying the new Rode mic, and the audio is so hot in them that I can't even bring it down to a level that it's usable. It's just clipping. So that's all fun. So I got back and I have a pile of packages sitting here, and some of these things are like, I purposefully didn't order anything for like 2 weeks coming up to my vacation because I didn't want to have a bunch of stuff sitting here while I was gone. So I ended up having a couple things, of course, that I've waited on for several months suddenly ship out a couple days before I left. So that's fun. So one of the things that arrived while I was gone is this. So this is from a company called Dbrand. And I don't know if you've ever heard of Dbrand. Dbrand is a company that makes skins and cases for all kinds of different devices. So I think that I've shown my MacBook Air in previous videos. That has a Dbrand skin on the top of it. They have a very... They have a marketing team that is very edgy, I guess would probably be the best way to describe it. They're kind of, I don't know, they're kind of like assholes in an unapologetic way. It's really interesting. So these are skins for my new MacBook Pro, and they just arrived today, and I ordered these when this went on pre-order. So I actually ordered these before I ordered the MacBook, before I was able to order the MacBook. So this is a Dbrand skin called Swarm. They make it in a bunch of different things. It used to be that they had this kind of customizer on their website, and you could say, so when you're looking at a MacBook, they actually have 4 pieces for the MacBook. So they have the top, which is this. They have the palm rest, which is this area here. They have the touchpad, which is this. And then they have the bottom. They used to have a customizer that allowed you to choose different ones for all of those different areas. And they don't anymore. Now you have to pick everything to be the same. And some people are beating them up over it, but realistically, they got to a point where they were like 60 days behind on production, and I'm sure that that's the reason why they're doing what they're doing it. But I mean, you can even look at it, like it's very, even the wording is very cocky. Purchased, we knew you would. Delivered, you're welcome. There's only one correct way to install. Go to dbrand.com/how. So they have really good content, really good videos, really good, like they build really good products. This is my, this has been my 3rd Dbrand skin or 4th Dbrand skin that I've done. I did my MacBook Air, I did my X1 Carbon, I did my X1 Extreme, and now I'm doing this. The X1 Extreme was like I had to make my own because they don't have a model for the X1 Extreme because apparently there aren't enough of them out there. So what I have here is the bottom. I have the palm rest and touchpad, and then this is like the top piece above the keyboard here. It goes up here. And then I also have the top. And really, the piece that I'm concerned with the most, well, I say there's two of them, is this and the bottom. The palm rest and the touchpad, I could kind of take them or leave them. I like them when they're there. I think that they look good, but overall, like, I don't need it because I'm not very rough on my interior of my computer. I clean it regularly. I keep it clean. I don't, use it while I'm playing with Doritos. But I like these enough that I've purchased them multiple times. And they're not inexpensive. They're not incredibly expensive, but they are kind of a boutique product. They are, I would say, on the more expensive side of things. So I think this kit was $40 for all of it, or $50 for all of it. They seem to range from like 30 to 100, depending on which version you do, and they've got some premium materials like leather and stuff like that. But with this, you want to read the instructions or follow the instruction video they give you. You want to go through and do the process as they tell you to do it, and then you'll end up with a good outcome. One thing that I have seen is that they, while they appear to be edgy and they appear to not care about their customers, they do. If you look at like there's a Reddit group /Dbrand, you'll see like different posts and things, and people have like screwed up stuff on their own, and Dbrand has given them new stuff, and it didn't even need to, But they have this kind of edgy marketing presence, which is interesting, and I think a lot of people like it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to install this on the MacBook. We'll see how the fitment is. This is a brand new product, brand new MacBook Pro. It's 13 inches brand new for this year. And this is the M2. And this skin just came out. So we'll see how it fits. So I have some invisible glass. I've got a microfiber towel. It's a rag company. It's what they call a multi-purpose towel. So I'm just going to spray this. On the back surface of the laptop, it's not really a problem if you spray the surface directly. On the inside surfaces, you want to spray the rag and wipe. We just want it to be nice and clean. I've got my new Milwaukee M18 heat gun. We'll play with that a little bit and see how it works. So let's get this installed. So to start off, we're going to set this off to the side. I've already wiped it off. And we're going to take this skin and we're going to peel off the backing. Just be careful. And what you want to do is you want to shift the backing down like that. Basically leaving a side exposed. You want to shift the backing down like this. And you'll see that I've got a piece of black exposed here and a piece of black exposed here. So we're going to take this and we're going to install it here. Now the thing to understand is you're going to be able to see three of the corners. So you've got a corner here, you've got a corner here, and you've got a corner here. And what you need to do is you need to split the difference on the gaps in these corners. So the skin doesn't come all the way to the edge. And the reason that they do that is because if it came all the way to the edge, it would peel up over time. So they make it stay just a little under the edge. And that's one of the things that really throws new people when they're doing these for the first time. I've seen a couple posts on Reddit where people have put them on and they've tried to do it, and they've got an edge that's really good and they've got an edge that's not, and it's just, anyway. So you want it to be there. And you can peel this up and you can redo it if you need to. Like I ended up with a little, I have to tweak mine just a touch. So I'm going to kind of push this out, and that's a little too much. So, I mean, you can't do this an unlimited number of times, but you can do it more than once pretty easily. So, we want to get this to the edge. We want the gap to be even all the way around. So we're looking at these corners. You've got 3 corners that are exposed, and just make sure that the gap looks pretty uniform all the way around. Now the next thing that we want to do is we want to take this and we want to peel this back. So if we got this pushed down all the way around the edges, we can use our heat gun just a little bit. And they tell you can use a hair dryer. I personally like the heat gun. Just be careful with the heat gun because it has the ability to melt the vinyl. But every one of these I've done with a heat gun. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to kind of diagonally pull this backing out. Like that. And normally what I like to do is kind of stage this a couple of times. So I'll go down here like that. And just kind of keep an eye on this edge, keep an eye on this edge, make sure that we're progressing as we want to. And I'll do this 3 or 4 times. It's more and more, because it's much easier to re-stick a portion of it than it is for you to re-stick the entire thing. Now, the apple is really what's going to tell how you did. And looking at mine, I'm even tweaked up a little bit, so I'm probably going to adjust this just slightly. So let me, before I get this stuck, and again, like I said, you can kind of tweak this a little bit if you need to. So for me, I actually have to go down just a touch on this top edge because it didn't quite match on my bottom edge. And I was a little too close on this side and a little too far away at the bottom. So you see, just like that, I kind of picked up a portion of it and redid it. So it doesn't take a whole lot once you get it where you need it to be. And this vinyl has memory, so if you need to, you can heat it up and it'll kind of go back to where it was. But there you can see that I got this applied. If you've got any bubbles, you can of course push it out with your hand. And let's work on getting this laid flat and making sure that there aren't any bubbles. If you end up with any bubbles, just push them towards an open area, like this Apple logo is a good one here. And I have a little bit of a bubble up here. But you can kind of always peel and work and get it so that it lays flat, because the vinyl is really high end. So it can be removed, it can be reattached, it can be reapplied. If you've got a bubble near the edge, you can peel an edge if you need to. And you can get it to lay back down. Everything will be okay. So now I've got this on, we're just going to give it a little bit of heat. Just kind of make sure that it's nice and tacky. And what you'll find with vinyl is, if you heat it up and there's like an air pocket underneath, it's kind of going to expand and you're going to be able to push it out with your finger. Again, just be careful with the heat gun that you don't melt your vinyl or ruin your laptop or something stupid like that. If you're afraid of the heat gun, use a hairdryer. That's what their instructions actually tell you to do, is to use a hairdryer. But when you have this right, what you should see is that your gap should be consistent all the way around, and that your apple should look good, just like that. So you see I've got a little bit of gap all the way around. And I will say, my MacBook Air that I currently have has had one of these on it for 1.5 years, and it still looks perfect. So we're gonna do the same thing here on the bottom. Spray a little bit. The bottom one is even easier to line up, so if you want to start with one, the bottom might be the best one to start with. And the reason that I say it's the easiest one to line up is because it has these screw holes and the feet. And the screw holes and the feet give you a really good starting point. So when I do these, what I like to do is kind of peel this back, and I want to expose kind of all the way to the feet. Like that. Which is probably a little bit more than what their video shows us, but that allows me to use the feet and the screw holes to orient this. So one thing that you want to be careful of when you're installing these is that you're not pulling and stretching, that you're instead allowing it to lay, and that you're kind of pushing the bubbles out, if that makes sense. So we'll just kind of get that there. So this is all lined up, and then let's get this one over here, and that one's lined up, and then we're going to work on these screw holes. And I might have to kind of peel this one and pull it back just a touch. So here we have it installed, and I'm not quite sure how I feel about the inside of it. It's included in the kit, so we'll give it a shot. At some point I might take off the palm rest and this top piece. But I will say that this one that I have is called Swarm. I had it on a Lenovo X1 Carbon for 2 years, and it held up very, very well. When I was done with it, I pulled it off, and the machine looked like brand new when I sold it. So that's really all that I can ask, is that it's going to make my machine hold up really well and make it look nice and clean. I do think that it's a little rough for a trackpad. I would personally prefer something like a matte black, just a normal matte black vinyl or a gloss black vinyl that doesn't have this large textured portion, but you can easily, use it. I can move my mouse around without an issue. It comes up on the screen. It works the same way that it always did. But I would prefer something that's just got a little bit less texture, in my opinion. So I apologize for the audio. My microphone ran dead about halfway through this, and I didn't realize it. Apologies. But yeah, that's about it. So really all you need is a heat gun, and take it easy with the heat gun. that you don't melt something, but super easy to apply, works really, really well, and the machine holds up well with this applied. And you know, like I said earlier, the name of the game is to kind of split the gaps. So if you got a gap, split it in top and bottom. If you got a gap, split it on the left and right. Same deal with the bottom. You want to split the gap, top, bottom, left, right, and just kind of orient these feet so that they go in the right spots. And you'll be good to go. Give it a little bit of heat, push it down, and it'll stay permanently until you're ready to pull it off. But they use a really, really high quality vinyl. So it is resistant to stretching. If you heat it up, it will go back to its normal shape in most cases. And also when you pull it off, it doesn't leave residue behind. Now in some finishes, I don't know that that's going to be 100%. In my experience with my Max and my X1 Carbon, it's been perfect. If you have something that's got a stickier finish, like some other Lenovo's, I don't know. I mean, I could imagine it leaving a little bit of residue behind, but in my experience, it's leaving a machine that's perfectly clean. And my MacBook Air that I have, my 2020 MacBook Air, that machine's perfect. And it's got a skin on it since the day that I bought it. I could peel that off, it looks perfect underneath. So I think it's a really good buy. I know that they're more expensive than some other brands, but I think that they produce a really high quality product. I've seen their customer service be really, really good. And I think that it's a worthwhile purchase. So thank you for watching and have a great day.